Hello, BookTube. This very peaceful interlude in Wales is for your enjoyment. I'm going to start something new, and this is a little intro to it. I'm going to try something that I'm going to call coffee break videos, where I do a little vlog. It's on a book-related topic. I try to keep it short and try to keep it light. Maybe that won't work out as I want it to. But, and if I can get you some beautiful footage like this. This is Wales. We're on Offa's Dyke Path, and we've stopped to sit on a bench and just admire the view. And I'm gonna be quiet now for about 20 seconds and just let you see if you can hear the river and the bird song. So you can see it's absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, I'm gonna make a little video talking about my book buying moods. You know, what motivates me to buy a book? Those sort of things. It's some notes that I did have in the book review, but I think that's a distraction from the book review. So I'm going to take them out and present them to you as a very short video. But I'll give you another 10 seconds of this gorgeous scenery, and then we'll get started. So, hi, new concept, coffee break booktube. The aim is lightweight, bookish topics covered in less than 10 minutes. See, that's what I would love. If I were looking for a new booktuber, I want short videos because short videos work better with real life. What I'm going to do today is answer one question. What factors do and don't influence me when I'm choosing my next book to read? Let's start with the do's. I get moods. That's how I choose books. So I'm going to talk about 4 moods. My first mood is I get where I want to read something by an author I have never heard of before. That's really true right now. I'm finishing my final assignment to obtain a Bachelor of Arts in English literature. And that's not a comment against any of my assigned books. I love them. Some of them were authors I'd never heard of before, right? But if you're a student, you'll know how this is. You're reading this, it dominates your life. You don't feel like you have many other spaces left to just pick books for yourself. So now I'm close to being free, and I just can't wait to go on some completely different kind of adventure. So that's mood 1. Mood 2, I will always read what somebody else recommends. See, that's how I got on BookTube. I ran out of people to give me word of mouth recommendations. So I thought, oh, well, this must be happening online. Well, little did I know just how much it was. So if someone could give me convincing reasons to read a book, I should shout out to Desmond Z. Thank you, Desmond, because you convinced me to add Razorblade Tears by S.A. Cosby to my wish list. Thank you very much for that. But I've never met a librarian that didn't give a good book recommendation, or a bookshop employee. They are good if BookTube, isn't there, or you can't get online. Always another option. Okay, my third mood, it's guilt, but it's a particular kind of guilt. It's literary guilt, right? You know the kind. Like, I'll buy and I'll read a book because I know it's one of those titles. That one of them, they appear on those 100 books to read before you die. Depending on how long you live, right? Or it's won a literary prize. You know the sort of things, right? And maybe you do not suffer from this kind of guilt, and that's good. It's one less guilt in your life, but I do. So I do sometimes choose my books based on a literary guiltiness. And fourth mood is also guilt. Fourth mood is ignorance guilt, and this is mainly happens like with nonfiction. A book is dealing with a subject that I know, I'm going to say this happens so often. It deals with a subject I don't know anything about, or I know so little, it would fit in a short sentence, right? And I see a book that's 500 pages long, and I think, wow, if I read that, I might be able to fill a paragraph with something that I know. So yeah, and Ignorance Guilt is what selected the book that I'm going to review for the next nonfiction Heather reads, and that will be Frantz Fanon's 1952 work, White Skin, Black Masks. I'm trying to remember who or what influenced me to purchase Fanon's book. I have a Black Lives Matter Amazon wish list, and I also have a tower of books somewhere in these messy bookcases that were recommended to me by bookshop staff, that are Black Lives Matter. I get probably they stocked them as well for back in 2020, and so I need to move through those. So maybe this was one of those. I just don't remember. Hopefully, I will find out, because I that's a question, isn't it, in my reviews? Why did I choose this book? So hopefully, I'll know by then. We'll see. Okay, so that's my do's. Now let's talk about what factors don't influence me. Okay, number one, celebrity recommendations or celebrity authors. Oh, okay, I'd be lying if I said I never read a book written by someone who was famous for something other than writing, because I have a couple, and I've got through them. But they don't stay with me. To me, a really good book, even if you had a tough time reading it, like your mind goes back to it, wanders back to it. Even just to ask, why did they do that? That was so frustrating, but it does. But celebrity authors, my brain doesn't go back to them. Maybe I just need better recommendations. BookTube, maybe I need better recommendations for celebrity authors. Okay, willing to hear those, definitely. Okay, second factor that doesn't influence me: website algorithm recommendations. I'm waiting for them to design an algorithm that figures me out, right? If I read a book about 12th century Chinese history, I do not want to read a second book about 12th century China. I want to read a novel written in 1971 by a Turkish author living in Egypt. That's it. I want to just go off, way off somewhere else. And if they could get an algorithm that could figure that out and send me in a completely random direction, then they'd have got me. Then I will definitely follow algorithms. Right. Third factor that doesn't influence me. Oh, the book is one in a series. Because book series, I think they're a publisher's invention. I'm not talking about Tolkien's Lord of the Rings. I think he kind of invented book series, or Mervyn Peake's Gormenghast. I think in those cases the authors actually had that much to say. But to me, most book series, I feel they are driven by the publishing industry, because they just make more money. They just tie people in, and I hate being tied in. It goes back to the algorithm thing. If I finished book A on topic A, I don't want book B on topic A. I want to move to something completely different. I want to keep it fresh. So yeah, it's very rare for me to read series. I have read Tolkien's Lord of the Rings. I've also read Suzanne Collins' Hunger Games. But regarding the former, see, that was literary guilt. I mean, you got to read Tolkien, right? And then the latter, that was a personal recommendation. And somebody told me, no, you need to read the series. So I thought, okay, I will read the series. So there you go. So that was the real motivator behind those choices. Okay, that's it. Short, sweet. I hope you got to finish your coffee, if you had a coffee. I should have some new content for you. I don't want to make any promises. I'm about 46% of the way through Frantz Fanon, and I don't want to rush that. That's not a book to rush. But I am reading a novel, so maybe what I'll do, if I finish the fiction first, then we'll do a fiction review next. Okay? Great. Talk to you soon then. Bye.